President Trump had an official call with Vladimir Putin today. I hear the call was tense, but let's face it, that's how performance reviews usually go. According to reports, the two discussed the prospect of coordinating Russian and U.S. actions. Oh, I think you've been coordinating for a while. According to the Kremlin, when discussing North Korea, the president of Russia called for restraint and an easing of tensions. You know things are bad when Putin is the voice of restraint. Donald, maybe you could cool it with the tweets. It comes off as a little crazy. Meanwhile, back here in Putin fans.
They into the peak.
A lot of Putin fans here tonight. Meanwhile, here in America, the Republicans in Congress are attempting to repeal and replace Obamacare again this week. But even though they've made another big push, they're on the verge of losing the health care vote. Again? It's like losing this vote is some kind of pre-existing condition with these guys. Now, moderate Republicans are not voting for Trumpcare because while it technically covers pre-existing conditions, it also allows states to apply for waivers that could greatly change the cost and quality of that coverage. So, if you've got a pre-existing condition, you can technically get health care. You just might not be able to afford it. Like how I can technically hire Bruce Springsteen to play my birthday party, but I can only afford Bryce Springstone. I love him. We love Bryce. Big fans. I love it. I love it when he plays Thunder Load. But yesterday, Alabama Representative Mo Brooks explained that Trumpcare is just making insurance fairer.
My understanding is that it will allow insurance companies to require people who have higher health care costs to contribute more to the insurance pool that helps offset all these costs, thereby reducing the cost to those people who lead good lives, they're healthy, they've done the things to keep their bodies healthy. And right now, those are the people who've done things the right way that are seeing their costs skyrocketing.
So he's saying good people are healthy and bad people get sick. Well, that's why Brooks is going to put this on his tombstone. I had it coming. If you're not alive, you must have done something. What did you do? What did you do? Something. And Trump's not just trying to undo Obamacare, he's also trying to undo Obama lunch, because his administration is rolling back Michelle Obama's push for healthier school lunches. Yeah, you could tell this was going to happen when they replaced her White House vegetable garden with a nacho bar. Oh, that looks good.
That's a good-looking nacho bar.
That looks really good. Hey, you guys remember last month when Trump ordered a missile strike on that Syrian air base? Yeah, 59 missiles were shot into the Syrian air base. It was the most violent assault on a runway not ordered by United Airlines. Friendly skies. It all went down while Trump was dining at Mar-a-Lago with the president of China, enjoying what Trump described as the most beautiful piece of chocolate cake that you've ever seen. Which is why the mission's code name was Operation Desert Storm. Now, could be a misspelling. Could be a misspelling. Now, well, we just got new details from Commerce Secretary and Jeff Dunham puppet gone rogue, Wilbur Ross. Secretary Ross was speaking at a conference yesterday and joked that the airstrike was in lieu of after-dinner entertainment. Really? What was the planned after-dinner entertainment? Busboys fighting in the Thunderdome? Steve Bannon unhinging his jaw and swallowing Reince Priebus feet first? And Ross continued his white-collar comedy tour saying, the thing was, it didn't cost the president anything to have that entertainment. Now, technically, yes, the missile strike cost $82 million. But remember, that's funded by taxpayers. So, yeah, didn't cost Donald Trump a dime. Or did it? We'll never know. We'll never know. What else is going on? Oh, Trump wants to be able to sue the press. He wants to be able to take lawsuits out against people who say things about him. In March, Trump tweeted, "The failing New York Times has disgraced the media world, gotten me wrong for 2 solid years. Change libel laws?" Of course, Trump himself would never engage in libel. Just ask Crooked Hillary or Lying Ted. There's only one problem with changing the libel laws, as Jonathan Karl pointed out to Reince Priebus on last week's This Week.
Change the libel laws. That would require, as I understand it, a constitutional amendment. Is he really going to pursue that? Is that something he wants to pursue?
I think it's something that we've looked at.
They want to get rid of the First Amendment? Stop the presses. Seriously, stop the presses. And I can confirm the administration is looking into changing the First Amendment, because I have Trump's rewritten version of the Constitution right here. We got it right here. Congress shall make no law against religion except for the scary ones, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, unless it is fake news like failing New York Times. Watch Fox and Friends. Or slow that down a little. Oh, Trump has also an interesting take on the Third Amendment here. No soldier shall, in a time of peace, be quartered in any house, or at least not in the premier suite of an incredible Trump hotel. The best, free continental breakfast before 9 a.m. Thank you for your room service. And this surprised me. This next one surprised me a lot. Trump wants to change the Second Amendment to bang, 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 pew, pew, bang, bang. We got a great show for you tonight.